English, foreign name hyperbytes, and we're just going to continue now on to part 12, and we're going to continue talking about drop lists, but we're going to use some hide and show actions to hide and show inputs, obviously. And I'm also going to introduce you to what are termed static inputs. So let's pop into our JSON file that we have. If you remember, this is where we left off. Now, we have this ability to select between two different inputs, and what I want to do is just make that also display some text underneath. And when I say text underneath, what we do is we use what is called a static input. A static input isn't actually an input. It actually is a prompt or a piece of text to clarify, and that actually takes as content not from the default value field, but from, believe it or not, the help field. So I'm just going to do one of them. I'm going to just take one of our existing actions. That's the easiest way of doing it. I'm going to copy that. I'm just going to pop that down here. And I'm just going to call that message 1. Let's get rid of that space. Just copy that. Option name, message 1. Title, I don't need. Title is not used by a static input at all. Our type is static. We don't need a default value. We're obviously not going to be talking about server bindings here. And then we've got a help text. And this is actually what will be displayed in place of an input. So in this case, we're going to say this calculates x to the power of n. Straightforward enough. And then we're just going to add one more clause at the end of this. And this is init display colon none. What I'll do is that will suppress the appearance of that message by default. So it won't appear on the screen at all. Now I'm just going to duplicate that totally now, and notice I'm missing a colon there. So we'll duplicate that, copy and paste, and this can be message 2. Yes, I accept this is very contrived, but it's about teaching the methods here. So, and message 2 is going to give you the message, this calculates the nth root of x. So save that while we're there. Now we'll go back up to our drop list, and I add comma, hide, colon. We're not actually going to hide. Sorry, of course we are. I'm going to hide, in this case, message 2. But I'm going to show message 1. So if somebody selects to the power of, they're going to see message 1. This calculates x to the power of n. But they won't see message 2, which is this calculates the nth root of x. Now I'm just going to repeat that, but in this case we reverse that to hide the appropriate messages. Fairly straightforward there. I guess now is the time for a restart, so I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, so that didn't go quite as planned. There's obviously an issue there. So let's just take a quick look at the JSON, and spotted that straight away. with me see a couple of colons there, that's all. So I'm going to save that. Let's head off for a restart and hopefully all will be well when I come back. Okay, so I'm back now. If I go into my module JSON, no error this time, thank you. And you see here now module action to the power of n, and you'll see that static input actually just writes a message below. This calculates x to the power of n, which is exactly what we have in the help text. And if I then switch that to nth root of, it then changes the message. This calculates the nth root of x. And that's exactly what we have in here. So what we've done is we've used our static inputs just to put a message on the screen. Appreciate it's not actually essential in this module, but it's another technique that you've learned now. And more importantly, we've also learned how we can hide and show inputs based on the selection of an element within drop list. And certainly if you were looking at something a little bit more sophisticated than this, maybe looking at different GPT stroke Gemini type selections where they have different types of input or different codes that need to be put in, then that's exactly how you'd use it. And if anybody looked at the ChatGPT module that I use, you'll see you can switch between ChatGPT 3.5 and 4. That's the methodology used there. So thanks for that. Hope you enjoyed this module, and in the next module we're going to look at enumerated values, enum data types. So thanks for joining.